Are you ready? Get set. Let's go. So before I start this video, I'd like to give a little preface. Being that I posted the first video less than 12 hours ago and it's already been reposted by a couple people, including my cousin, thanks Deb, this series may somehow make it to my mother's attention. And Mom, I just want to say I'm sorry. You've never heard me use language like this, probably. I don't think. Uh, I love you, but now you know how I sound when you're not around. It had to come out at some point. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Hello, welcome back. Glad you're watching. Hey. Okay, so now that we've gone over what a server does behind the scenes, why it's a shitty job to have, yet it's quick money, so we all do it. But David, if it's so shitty, why do you do it? Most servers are artists, actors, computer web design guys. I know that's not a right term, but whatever. No offense. So serving is quick money. Some restaurants short shifts. This is why we do it, because we are actually doing other things that don't pay our rent. Serving is not our end all goal in life, despite what you may think. And now that we've gone through all that, let's start with sequence of service. When you walk in the door. I'm sorry, that's a little bit of a lie. I didn't mean to tell a fib. Sequence of service starts when your server gets to the table, but your service starts when you're at the door and the host says hello and they serve you by walking you to the table, which is why we pay them from the tip you leave us. That'll be for the tipping section. So, you walk in the door. Generally, you're going to be greeted by a host or a hostess. Based on the restaurant you're at, it might be someone standing behind the front counter. It might be just someone saying, hey, come on in. We're a casual diner. There's a sign that says, please be seated. Just go wherever you are. I think I meant go wherever you want. Okay. Most restaurants are going to have a host that is putting you at a specific table for a specific reason. Shock! We didn't know there was a reason you gave us that table. You thought you just went to that table and that was where we were going to sit. So we can ask to sit anywhere we fucking want to. That's being a douche. You are a customer. You have a right to be happy. You have a right to say, I'd like to sit away from the kitchen or away from the restroom doors, or it's our 10th anniversary. Can we maybe get an area of the restaurant that's a little slower right now so we can sit quietly in the corner? Okay, we get that. Let us know up front. Because once that host leaves the host stand, there's this magical little thing at the host stand called a seating chart. It's amazing, kind of what it sounds like. It's a chart that shows the seating in the restaurant with a list in an order that those tables are supposed to get sat, and here is why. When you sit down, you don't want to wait for a server to say hello. You probably know what your drink is already. If not your food, you know you want a Diet Coke. You drink Diet Coke at every restaurant. It's breakfast. You want coffee. You want a cocktail. Okay. You want to start with water while you figure it out. That server needs to get to you while we're running food, and you're anxious to get that out so you can start drinking that beer after a long day of work, right? Okay. So when you sit down, you expect us to get right to you. After stocking straws and glasses, of course. Watch part 1 if you haven't, that'll make sense to you. And in fact, when we get to the actual first step of service, where the server comes over, they traditionally have a limited number of seconds or minutes, hopefully not minutes, to get to you. So when they do their job correctly and get to you, we want to do it well. We want to do our job well. As hopefully you do, because as a human being, you take pride in the job you do, even if you don't enjoy the work you're doing. Oh, look, we have something in common, a trait in common. I'm not just some little shitty servant beneath your feet, huh? When you go to a table, that host is making sure that server was not just sat. That way they can get to you. That's what this chart is. It says we're going to sit this server, then that server, then this server, then that server, then that server, then that server, and on and on and on, till everyone is sat once and it starts back over. For us, we like it because we don't get bombarded. We're able to give good service, hopefully get better money. Recurring theme! And we're able to turn tables quickly, get in and out, and make our money, serve you well. You like it because when you sit at that table, the server is able to get to you right away. We can get that beer for you. We can get it going, right? We love helping you out. That's why we're in this business. We want your money. Recurring theme! We want to do a good job. Okay, I think I made my point on we want to do a good job. So you sit down at that table. If you decide, even though we've walked from that corner of the restaurant all the way to that corner of the restaurant, now that we're here, I'm going to tell you I want to go all the way over to that side of the restaurant because I want a booth and not this table. That host now needs to walk back up front, making you wait, pissing you off, to figure out where to take you so you can get good service. If you just walk yourselves to another table, for all you know, that server has just been sat and is taking an order or making drinks for a party of 6. That's going to take a few minutes, right? They have to maybe make a cappuccino, which doesn't take a short period of time. So by the time they get to you, you're going, have you seen our server? And excuse me, any server walking by, do you know who's taking care of me so that I can get a drink, please? So what you're saying, David, is that I can sit wherever I want, even if that server just got sat 2 other tables who did the exact same thing. He can still get to me right away while he's cleaning and running food and stocking glasses and straws and plates and napkins. Even though he got sat 3 tables, I'm still first, right? Watch part 1. Don't be a fucking douche! You're already pissed off. When we get to the table, we don't want you pissed off. We want you happy. So when you say, I'm going to sit there, you're actually hurting yourselves. And you're putting us in a bad mood. So now we're fighting to smile and take care of you well because we already think you're going to be a bullshit, difficult table, right? Well, what else am I supposed to think at this point? You've already proven yourself to be a douche. You don't want that. Plus, you want to be served. If you tell them at the host stand you want that quiet booth or you prefer a booth to a table, what? I can tell them up front, not just go to the table and hope it's where I want to sit? Communicate! Don't be a fucking douche! Then they can make sure they look at their little chart and they go, you know what, we're about to skip 3 people, but this person has a station like that. We can give them a quiet table. They can be away from that party, the children's birthday party, and the server's happy. The table's happy. We'll go back and fill in this rotation. There we go. You've fixed the problem. You've helped us to help you. We're not mind readers, you know. Just think. It's kind of common sense. Right? Warning, really bad analogy coming up. If you were going to the grocery store, you wouldn't walk in and go immediately to the cash register and then say, oh, wait, now let me go get my products. See? Really bad analogy. You kind of have to assume that everyone else is just going to wait in line for you to go do your shopping and come back. So it's not really appropriate, but you get the idea. You're making everyone wait. And then we have to make you wait. Okay, so that's starting at the host stand. Once you get to the table, the sequence of service begins. And another abrupt ending. What's up with that? I really don't know, guys. Sorry. You can like this or subscribe or comment or something like that, I guess, if you want.